I wrote this and I was like, no, wait, yes, I will include it. It's J.D. But
Hey,
hey,
devotees.
devotees. Welcome
Welcome
back
back
to
to part 5
of
of
Outlander.
Outlander.
We're so close to being done, guys. So close.
So close. And in case you haven't joined us yet on Fable, which you should, we have started a poll for our next read. A little palate cleanser for in between the Outlander series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the series is thick, and we will need little breaks in between.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
We have
go take your vote. Place your vote.
We have a couple of good choices for you. We have Margot's Got Money Troubles because we wanted to do something that also had a TV show attached because we are obviously reading and watching.
Obviously.
And we have The Deal by Elle Kennedy as well. And very lastly, I picked something super random because I was like, maybe we want to do something cozy. So I picked The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst, which is a second book in the same world but separate story. It's a cozy fantasy, very cozy read. So if you're feeling like you need something warm and fuzzy, maybe that's your pick. So I'm very interested to see what people choose.
Mm-hmm. If we choose The Deal, I have the physical book.
Ooh, yes, and that could be counted towards your Trapped in Your TBR challenge. Well, that we're both doing, but yeah.
We're both doing, yes, but yes. This is the OG cover,
I
too.
know, I'm so jealous.
I need the others.
I'm so jealous. When you pulled that out the first time, when you whipped that thing out the first time, I was like, I have never seen that cover before. That must be the indie print cover.
Mm-hmm. Because the others match it, too.
Oh my gosh. I'm jealous. I'm so
Now
jealous.
they're hard to find.
They are
Especially
super hard to find.
It's not the average size book, too. It's like slightly bigger, so.
Just for funsies.
Also, that tower looks like it's gonna fall over.
Dude,
I'm just
speaking of the tower, I know. The tower is so bad.
Anyway, Outlander.
Part 5.
Part 5 is called Lollybrock, and it covers chapters 26 through 33. We are also going to be covering part 6, which is just one chapter. Chapter 34, Dougal's story. All right, so we start with chapter 26, The Laird's Return. So at the end of 25, 25, oh my gosh, Claire decides to stay with Jamie, and then they kind of ride off to Lollybrock. So this is them riding off, and Claire just tells more about the world and what happens and everything, like in the time roughly between this time and where she's from, because she might not know everything. But Jamie's really fascinated by cars and planes. It's like, Jamie, just come to 2026. We have semi-better cars and planes. But wait, no. 2014, better president. Anyway. Better world.
That would be like 300 years in the future, which is iconic. Almost.
I was like,
almost.
Anyway, they chat as they go, and they kind of stop, make camp. Obviously, they're not going to ride the entire time because it takes I think a week to get there, maybe a little more. And Claire asks Jamie if they're going to burn Galis, because she's like, we just left her. They're going to burn her? He's like, yeah, but they're going to wait till after the baby is born. So, okay, she ain't dead right now. Okay, she will be, but she ain't dead right now. I feel like she's going to come back later. I don't know how, but I feel like something with Galis is going to come back up in another book. I don't know. I have a feeling she's dead, but not dead, Anyway, Claire says Galis killed her husband with cyanide, just telling Jamie, like, this is what happened. Here you go. Which we all knew. And Jamie doesn't know what that is because it hasn't been discovered yet. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, cool. So planes, trains, cars, and poison. Okay, this is everything you need to know.
He's like, got it. Yeah.
World's odd. So it takes about a week. They travel and they get to Lollybrock. Just outside of the house, someone on horseback recognizes them and rides up. They have a little polite chat and they continue on. They see the dogs and they Jamie goes and greets them. They kind of recognize him, but not Claire, obviously. Jamie and Claire see Jenny and her and Jamie hug because it's been at least 10 years. No, 6 years. Math. It's not 10 years. I can't math, okay? And then they're kind of like, oh my gosh, yes, great to see you. And then a little boy comes up and says, Mommy, and hugs Jenny. And Jamie loses it. She's like, say hi to your uncle, Jamie. And he's like, what? You named Randall's bastard after me. It's basically what it said. He's hurt and upset, which I get because he was told Randall raped her, got her pregnant, and this is Randall's kid. And so he's upset. And he's like, I don't want Randall's kid named after me. Fuck you. Basically. And I get it. Jenny makes Jamie stay by grabbing his balls. She's like, listen.
This
I'm
part,
like, get it, Jenny.
This part only a sibling or a significant other could ever get away with. And like, let me just say, only really a significant other, because can you imagine grabbing your sibling by the balls? I can't. That would make me so I can't even speak. That's how uncomfortable I am by the thought of it.
Have I accidentally kneed my brother? Yes.
That's different.
We were roughhousing.
That's different. That's different. That's an accident and you were fucking around. But like being like yoink, you know what I mean? Like, no, dude. That would never. No. Different time.
Yeah. Jenny had to assert her dominance.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Jamie and Jenny are kind of like bickering. And so she grabs him by the balls and tells him what happened with Captain Randall, which is not Frank, evil Frank, all the not Franks.
Yep.
Jamie's kind of a dick here while Jenny starts, before she starts, really, and is basically calling her a whore because she is kid and pregnant with another. So she smacks him, like, hard across the face. It's a good job, Jenny, because Jamie's, like, going off. And it's like, Jamie, calm the fuck down. Let her explain. I was really mad at him in here. I was like, let your sister talk.
Yeah.
Anyway. Claire steps out to let the siblings have their moment and discussion. Yeah, like siblings do.
Yep.
So while outside, she sees a small group of men up on a hill. Only one comes down, and she notices him limping. He's missing a leg, and he has a peg leg. Please give a warm welcome to Peg Leg Ian.
Oh no! Oh no!
Who we learn is Jenny's husband. The siblings finally stop yelling, which means things are good. And Jenny tells Jamie that evil Frank didn't do anything to her. He ripped her dress and beat her a bit, knocking her senseless. And by the time she came fully to, the English were gone, and Jamie with them. So she was distraught too. Evil Frank tried to do things to Jenny, but Jenny kneed him in the balls and a few minutes earlier and couldn't get hard for her. So he was angry and he hit her. Typical angry man. All is forgiven between Jamie and Jenny. Yay.
Oh man. Yeah, that was an intense little bit, and certainly I agree with you that Jamie was just not even giving his sister a chance. And like, Jenny is a badass. We immediately meet this character and she asserts herself in the stories. She, like, here we are thinking that Jamie's this like white knight, right? And she's just like, anyways, who the fuck do you think you are, little ass boy? Which is so funny. And she's very much giving big sister energy, isn't she?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much.
Which I loved. I Jenny is one of my favorite characters. She is just such a badass. Badass. They don't make them like Jenny anymore. I'll tell you that.
No, they don't.
I'll tell you that much. We love a fictional strong woman, don't we?
Hell yeah, we do.
So moving on to chapter 27, The Last Reason. So this ends up being a pretty wholesome chapter where Jamie spends some time with his brother-in-law Ian. We kind of find out that they are, Pig Leg Ian and Jamie are long lost BFFs, and they grew up together. They spent a lot of time together. His dad was the proprietor or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Ian's dad was. So worked alongside Jamie's dad pretty much like all the time. They were a unit. And so
Mm-hmm.
Ian and Jamie very much became the same way. So, and then, Jamie spends some time with his nephew, showing him all the things a young man should be able to do, like not piss on his shoes. uh,
Fact.
yep. Jenny asks Claire some questions with alternative meanings, and Claire kind of skirts them well enough that Jenny seemingly starts to tolerate Claire in her home. Because again, Claire and Jamie both are showing up completely out of nowhere. They're both kind of assuming their roles, as the laird and lady of where, what's it called, Lollybrook. So they kind of step in and they auto insert themselves really into the situation. And that this is kind of threatening Jenny and Ian a little bit, less so Ian doesn't really seem to give a fuck, but Jenny a little bit, because she's been the one that's been taking care of the tenants. She's been the one
Mm-hmm.
that's been tending the house. She's been the one that's been the big boss with the big lady pant boss on, big pant lady boss
Yep.
pants. And Claire, we know that Claire doesn't really have the big boss lady pants yet. But I think she will over time develop them. Maybe not in this arc, but at some point in the story she'll
Yeah,
get her big lady boss pants on.
I hope so.
So, Jamie confesses to Claire that he married her for love in a very comical way.
So,
This part was so funny. I absolutely loved this chapter. I thought it was very
mhm.
funny and romantic, and just a cute overall kind of warm and fuzzy chapter for us, which we kind of needed because things were intense there for a minute. So we get our warm fuzzy chapter with chapter 27.
Yeah, it was so cute. I remember reading this and going, "Oh."
Yeah, yeah.
Claire's like, "What are you talking about?" And Jamie's like, "I'm telling you."
Yep. Yep.
It was so cute. Chapter 28, Kisses and Drawers. This is so funny. So this kind of is a small montage of their days. Kind of what's happening here. Claire helps around the estate with Jenny, and Jamie's off with Ian doing manly household things and farm things. I don't know. Everything. The usual, Jamie decides this day to give Ian a break to rest his poor, weary leg, so he and Claire head to the water wheel that is stuck to help get it unstuck. So Jamie strips down to his father's flannel drawers with giant underwear, and Claire just has a good giggle fit at this, and I did too.
Same.
Jamie's like, "Stop laughing." I would.
he's like, what? You never seen a man in drawers before? And she's like, if you can call those that, sure.
Yeah. As you can tell, we're laughing now still at this. Sorry, Jamie.
Yep. Sorry.
So while Jamie is off in the water trying to figure out why this wheel is stuck, Claire's kind of going around gathering medicinal items and just hanging out by the water wheel by herself, just sitting in the grass chilling, basically. Jamie's bobbing and submerging. We meet Granny McNabb. Not the
Icon.
Death Eater, don't worry, I checked.
The icon herself.
The
Granny
icon
McNabb.
herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. She comes and chats with Claire. She's wanting a favor from the laird. So she's like, I'm going to ask his wife. Her grandson, Rabbi, is being beaten by his drunk father, and she wants Jamie to take on her grandson and the estate. Basically, like, take him away from his horrible, horrible father. Claire's like, I will talk with him. As Claire and Granny McNabb are talking, English soldiers come up. Granny notices and sits on Jamie's clothes to hide them because his clothes are just there. And so it looks like only two women are sitting by the wheel talking, just doing their thing. Jamie had popped his head up, saw them, and quickly got back underwater. He's like, nope. Granny tells Claire to shut the fuck up because she's English and they'll be able to tell, like, why is this English woman with the Scots, basically, in Highland country. And Claire, for once in her ever-loving life, listens and shuts the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But we love you, Claire.
Mm-hmm.
The English soldiers notice that the wheel isn't working, and when did you know it? One of their soldiers knows how to fix it. He worked on one, and it's like, son of a bitch.
Yep.
So the soldier's about to strip down himself and go into the water and check it out when the wheel starts turning again on its own, it seems. Yay! And they're like, well, what do you know? It's unstuck. And what was stuck, you say? Floral underwear comes bobbing up. And Claire's like,
Floral underwear or the flannel underwear that he was wearing earlier?
the floral flannel, whatever drawers he's wearing, to come bobbing out of the water. And the soldier's like, huh, oh well. And then they leave. Jamie surfaces and sees Granny McNabb, and she asks him for the favor, and he tells her anything as long as you give me my clothes back, because he is butt-ass naked.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's doing us a favor, Jamie. Gosh, she could just walk out of the water naked, you know. So
Yeah,
cute.
come on.
And slight spoiler for the show, Granny McNabb was not a character. She was not there. This was actually Jenny. Jenny saw them coming and rushed and sat on the clothes, and basically Jenny was there.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else happened, except that's the only difference I remember, so there's that.
The best part of this chapter is that the English soldiers are like, this is a fair bit of fabric. I think I'll keep this to polish tack. And it's just like, oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You do that.
Mm-hmm. You enjoy that. So chapter 29 is labeled More Honesty. In this chapter, we get some more old-fashioned family time, but we also get the real story of how Jenny got married and how it all went down with Evil Frank, which she did tell Jamie earlier in the story, but we get the like full Monty literal, this is a play-by-play of the probably one of the worst days of her life. So we know already that Jenny is a badass and doesn't take shit from anyone, but we can't be surprised that when Evil Jack tried to Evil Jack, he couldn't. He he couldn't get his little red coat to stand at attention. Jenny laughed in his face and taunted him, even like took her boobs and was like, ah, at him, which is hilarious to think of. She taunted him with her freaking body and stared him straight in the face and literally laughed. Like, did not show fear, you know, the thing that feeds evil Jack. The whole reason why he's like, he's a rapist and he's all these terrible things. You know, she found his weakness, read him like a book and was like, come on, I'm not even your flavor of the month. Like, and I'm not going to be scared of you.
Nope.
So she could read him clear as day. And in order for him to get his little soldier to work, she needed to be afraid. So she very much took the stance of not being afraid. And instead of taking her power, you know, and really instead she took her power back from him. Classic Jenny. We love Jenny.
We do.
Anyways, no one was mad at her, and they all kind of carried on and talked about how they all grew up together and, you know, some corporal punishment that Jamie and Ian got at the hands of their fathers, which was hilarious. Just some of the stories that they got and some of the times that, you know, Jamie stood up to his dad and his dad was like, yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna beat you. And then he makes him go out to the horses and he's like, you're gonna fucking take care of all the horses instead. Right now and until you're done, and it's gonna be hours and you're gonna be exhausted. You're gonna be wishing that I beat your back porch rest instead of manual fucking labor, Jamie. And indeed, Jamie was like, yes. The funniest part after this is that when, you know, Jamie and Claire go back upstairs for the evening, Jamie is like, you could have done with some good, you know, corporal punishment, Claire, growing up. And Claire was like, my uncle would never do that. My uncle, the archaeologist, he would never do that. He believed in talking to us with reason and reasoning with us. And he was like, yeah, a lot of good that did, huh? You've got such a mouth on you, Claire. And Claire's just like,
I know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That kind of made me laugh because I was just like, the dichotomy of the parenting, very much like gentle parenting versus like, you know, traditional parenting. It was kind of funny just to like see that like play out with 200 years difference of parenting. It's very funny.
I saw that too, and I was like, this is very much gentle parenting. This is also versus like parents from like the 80s.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. So that
Yeah.
kind of made me giggle a little bit.
Same. So chapter 30, Conversations by the Hearth. This chapter makes me giggle a little too. Claire is trying to be of service around the house more, not just as a healer. She's like, I can do things. So she helps Jenny transcribe some recipes that are poorly written. So she's like, let's fix these. The recipes are basically how to make candles, and elderberry wine are the ones she's currently working on. The important shit, you know? Jamie asks Jenny what it's like being pregnant, and she tells him he won't get it. He asks if Claire would, and Jenny goes on to describe it, and it gets a bit sexual.
You know, this part was I was like, okay, this is a little weird. All right.
Yeah. So she says that maybe it's like why men maybe that's why men like having sex. They want to be back inside the womb and be safe again. I was like, okay. And so Jenny and Ian
Yeah. Thanks for that, Jenny.
right? It's like no.
The list of things that I never needed to think about when being intimate with a partner, that's pretty high up there. Thank you. Thanks.
Right.
Thank you for that book.
But that in all our heads. Anyway, Jenny and Ian hobble away. I'm sorry, I had to. And we know what they're off to do. You know,
Oh.
ha ha ha. Let Ian be safe again.
Yeah, Ian gets
Jamie
to
and
go
Cla-
home. Oh, she has a roommate.
And they were roommates.
It's your dad. Oh. Anyways,
Jamie and Claire stay by the fire and notice that little Jamie is still there. We know that Jenny will be back for him later, though. And so Jamie's like, come on, let's have a quickie. He won't wake up. And they do. And, you know, Jenny made everyone horny here, it seems. Like,
weird.
what pregnancy talk was this?
It's weird.
They need the Mean Girls one. Don't have sex or you're gonna die.
Yeah, that's what she should have. She should have been like, oh, it's terrible, it's awful, I hate it, you know, everything hurts. That's what Claire, you know, needed to hear. And instead, you know, she was just like, well, it's a bit like coming home, I guess. And it's just like, ew, dude. Ew. Stop. No, the best part of this chapter was when Claire was like, they left their little ass kid. And Jamie's like, yeah, probably on purpose. And Claire was like, oh, okay. And Jamie's like, let's get it on.
Yeah, basically,
Claire,
like Marvin Gaye's playing.
Claire's like, yeah, okay. You guys, that's gross. Stop. I guess, you know, if he's learning how to not piss on his shoes, I guess now's the time to also teach him where babies come from. I don't know. Like, God. Crazy shit.
Yeah, this chapter was weird.
it was a little uncomfortable. So, moving right into chapter 31, Quarter Day. So, Jenny comes up to get Jamie and Claire ready to go speak to their tenants. She brushes out Jamie's wild-ass hair and finds a bunch of branches and shit in it, which makes me totally laugh. And then she goes over to Claire and she's like, dude, you two, come here. So the best part was when he's like, the ribbon! I will not have a ribbon in my hair!
I know.
No! I won't have a ribbon. You can't put a ribbon in my hair. I'm a man.
I'm the laird.
I'm a laird. Come on. And so, you know, they make him pretty, and he's the prettiest girl at the party. And
my pretty girl.
And Jenny gets Claire ready too. And hilariously, they're like two wild children because Jenny finds a bunch of branches and shit in Claire's hair too. And I'm like, you guys are, they're just like kids that just like run around in the Highlands, like in the amok, just getting into shit, which is hilarious. Made me laugh. So Jenny's getting Claire ready, and they go over to the family jewels, and Jenny lets Claire borrow a set of ivory bangles that get an odd reaction out of old Murtaugh, because Murtaugh pops back up, and Murtaugh's like, oh, you're wearing those? Oh, okay. And
Mm-hmm.
Claire's like, huh, why would you be reacting to these old bangles? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Jenny discovers that the McNabs, which are some tenants on the Lollybrook, stead, um, Jenny discovers that the McNab's son has been beaten severely, and he's very young, um, by the father McNab. So Jamie, kind of after he gathers his money and hee and ha-has and whatever with his tenants, he pulls old McNab to the side and said, hey, listen, I'm gonna come have your boy work for me at the stables. McNab basically flat out refuses in front of everyone, and Jamie clasps him over the shoulders like, you're gonna have a walk with me. So Jamie gives McNab the old 1-2 punch and basically says, no, your son's going to come work for me, and that's it. And McNab, basically, at that time just goes, okay, okay.
Yeah.
He can't, what can he do? The Laird has laid down the law. He's given him the old 1-2 punch conversation. Like, there is nothing else to be done, right? Except for old McNab. He is a real son of a bitch. And this, truthfully, comes to bite Jamie in the ass not too long
Yeah.
after this whole situation goes down.
No. But so Granny McNabb had that conversation, and bam, her grandson's safe. So
Yep.
good job, Jamie.
Yeah.
But with the Bengals, we find out they are actually Jenny's mom's, and they weren't given to her by her dad. They were given to her by somebody else, and she would never say who. Like another suitor. So I think it's Murtaugh, because I know Murtaugh's older. I think he's around like the parents' age, maybe slightly younger. Like he's older than Jamie.
He's like his great uncle or something like that. He's an uncle of
Yeah.
some twice removed, or a great uncle or something like
Yeah.
that. So he's like he's older. He's not super old, but he is older. And he is at least
Like
his parents' age, maybe if not a
early
little bit older
40s.
than that. Yeah. Yeah. In the
Yeah.
show he looks like he's in his 50s for sure, but that's neither here
I
nor
still love
there.
him.
I also had that same thought that maybe the Bengals had been given to Jamie's mother by him as well. So, but we actually learn where they come from in chapter 36. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, I'm not there yet. So
I kind of figured that much.
I stopped at 34. I did what I was supposed to. I was like, don't go on. Don't go on. Chapter 32, Hard Labor. You guys, Bryn Weaver has graced us. It's harvest season. Oh, shit. Wrong kind. Anyway, Jamie and Ian are harvesting crops. And they pass out early every day wherever they sit because they are exhausted. They're just working from sunup to sundown, basically, getting all these crops because it's, that time. During all of this, Jenny goes into labor. The note I'm reading, because I listened to the book and then I'll like read a quick summary just to make sure I have all my key points. The note said it's time to harvest a baby, and I was like,
oh, maybe we don't leave that one in.
well, it said that like maybe time to harvest a baby. Haha, wait, no.
What time of the night were you listening to this or reading this? That's my real question. Your brain's just
I know this person, I was like, I love your notes, but what the hell? So Jenny's in labor, guys, and they're like, Claire, do you know? And Claire knows nothing about birth or no baby, so nope. They get a midwife and Mrs. Cook to aid them. Claire's just there for Jenny mainly. And so the labor is rough and bloody, as labor is. And Claire kind of panics. She's like, is this okay? And the midwife's like, it's fine. It's not bright red. That's when we worry. This is fine. So the baby's breech. So they have to kind of go in and like turn her and do things. And so it takes a little bit. And Jenny thinks she's like going to die half the time. They're like, this is fine. They always think that. So we find out the baby's a girl. She has a little girl. They name her Margaret Ellen, which is so cute.
So sweet.
Claire goes to get Ian, and he's passed out on Jamie, and she could smell the booze. And so she gets really upset. She's like, "You were drunk while your wife was laboring," and just all of this stuff. And, typical men. Women are doing the hard work. But Ian is just resting. And so as soon as Claire walks in and grabs his arm, he opens his eyes and sits up. Like, he was scared. And she's like, "Oh, you have a little girl. Go see your wife." And so he's very excited. But Jamie Jamie gave him a few drinks to like settle him.
Yeah.
Just have him relax. It's like, "Hey, you're okay," because you're screaming during labor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think they got drunk, but there's just alcohol there to like soothe the nerves, which I get.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so Jamie tells Claire he's glad she's barren because losing her to childbirth would be rough for him. Sir, read the room. Like, she wants kids and wants to have them with you, but like, fuck you. Like, bro.
I mean, you have to think back to the time period. It was very normal for, maybe half of births to end with mother, dying. So, of sepsis, of any kind
Bleeding
of thing,
complications.
of anything that could happen. It was so normal for women to die in childbirth back then. They did not have modern medicine like they did in Claire's time or in our time, and still the mortality rate the mortality rate of mothers is really high, even in this century, but especially and very sadly as an American. And God, and just for a moment, let me get on my soapbox for a second. As women of color, the mortality rate is too fucking high. Too fucking high. And it is really something that needs to change in this country. It is disgusting, our healthcare system, and as it pertains to women and as it pertains to mothers, is unacceptable. And they keep pushing us, to have kids and this kickback that, and like, all these things, and they want us to breed laborers realistically. And it's just like, what incentive if I turn around and this is something that I do, and then there's a possibility that I would die. Like, we just can't, all of this stuff happens, and it's really fucking scary, and it's not talked about enough.
Really?
And people, just don't have any respect for mothers, man. And hardest job in the world. Hardest job in the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, and it's horrible because a lot of women's symptoms also, if they're in pain, get overlooked.
Totally. Absolutely.
A lot of women die from heart attacks more than men, so.
Yeah.
Shit.
Statistics are fucked up, man. It's not right. It's not right.
It's not. Fuck. You know why chainsaws were invented, right?
No.
To help with labor.
Really?
I'm 99% sure it's chainsaws that were invented to help with labor. Scottish doctors. Yeah, the chainsaw was originally invented for medical procedures in the late 18th century. Two Scottish doctors, John Aitken and James Jeffrey, created the prototype to aid in complicated childbirths and to remove diseased joints.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So to help oversized babies, basically it's the first cesarean scalpel.
Oh my God. Can you imagine that? Like, I literally can't.
Just kill me.
Just absolutely. Absolutely. To save me, because again, they didn't have any anesthesia. So somebody is literally being chainsaw ripped open. Oh my God. At that point, I'm going to die anyways. Just kill me first. We'll move on to chapter 33, The Watch. So basically the next day, after Jenny has her baby Margaret, Ian and Jamie, they go out to, do some tenant tending. And we learn, as, Ian makes his way back, old hobble leg McIan shows back up, and he's coming down the drive. And, Claire goes, "Oh, it's Jamie that's back." And Jenny goes, she fucking hits one of these and tests the wind, and she goes, "That's Ian." And first of all, how the fuck does she know that? She could literally tell by the hoofbeats, which is fucking crazy. But Jenny's on another planet anyways. So, it turns out that Jamie was captured by the Watch. Jenny quickly jumps into action. She gives the baby to the housekeeper, to the head house, cook, to the cook, and says, "Let's fucking go." Jenny knows how to track very well and figures out where to head to get after the soldiers. So Jenny still is nursing, by the way. She literally days before, 1 or 2 days before, just had a baby. So she is on a horse. She actively probably bleeding. She is nursing. So, at some point, as they're tracking the soldiers, 20 soldiers with 2 horses, she has to stop and let some of her milk out because she's like actively breastfeeding. This part was crazy. And she was like, she says, everything to do with children is a nuisance, which made me laugh. But she wouldn't have it any other way. Which, of course,
typical mom.
Yeah. Jenny is pretty worried at this point how it's going to go down with Jamie, as in how badly they had beat him. She was worried that Jamie popped off on the soldiers and probably was incapacitated somewhere. And she was just like, honestly, we'll be able to get him back. But here's the thing, is that it depends on what shape he's in. So, a soldier ends up going by to water his horse, and Claire fucking whomps him on the head with a tree branch, and Jenny grabs a rock and hits him harder. And then they end up tying up the soldier, and then Jenny, click, click, with the giant freaking guns that they have, with the pew-pews, points it at him and says, "Listen, what the has happened to my brother?" And the soldier's like, "Oh, he's as good as dead, to be honest with you." And Jenny does not actually think that Jamie is dead, especially because of the kind of fighter that he is. That their dad trained him to be. So they learn that he's been tied up and that he's been hurt, really badly. Claire kind of puts it together that Jenny needs to go back after obviously freshly having a baby, and then, Murtaugh shows up to help Claire track Jamie. Murtaugh tells Jenny that she'll have a new kitchen maid when she gets home because old man McNabb died in a fire. And he was the one that actually sold Jamie out to the soldiers, which he sold him out to the Watch. So Claire tells Jenny a little bit of the future. Claire tells Jenny a little bit of the future, basically to plant potatoes and just like fortify Lollybrook and prepare for the war that's coming. The potato famine at this point in history is but 2 years away. So
I was just gonna say,
Claire is like, "Jenny." The one thing I like about this chapter is that Jenny comes to Claire and I was like, "My brother said that maybe you might have some like sage advice for us." And Claire was like, "Oh, right. Plant potatoes." "Oh, and there's gonna be a war. If you don't have a safe place in your castle, build it."
build one. If you build it, they will come.
"I think that's it. Okay, bye." and Jenny's like,
Basically. Yeah, because that whole scene was so funny because she's like, my brother told me if you told me something odd, I need to listen to you no matter what, even if it's odd. And she's like, yeah, so potatoes.
Hey, and she's like, "Well, potatoes aren't really like local. I could like send for some." And she's like, "Do it.
Do it." Boil them, mash them, stick in a stew. Yeah, do it.
Jenny's like, "Okay, sounds good." All right,
I gotta go back and feed my baby.
I gotta go back to my baby now. Goodbye.
I remember in this part in the show too, because she does whip her breast out and like get the milk out. 'Cause that's what she has to do. Because she's hurting. You're full. You're hurting, and so she's like squeezing it into a can, and Jenny's just like has a relieved look, and Claire's
Yeah.
like, "Does that hurt?" She's like, "They're just full."
She's like, yeah, dude. The fact that she hopped on a horse, bro, and it's just like, yeah,
I
let's
know.
go. Oh, ow. Oh.
I'm sorry. Most
Built
women are still in
different.
the hospital 24 hours after they give
Oh,
birth.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Not Jenny, though. Not Jenny.
she
Nope,
doesn't have a
no.
peri-bop. She got nothing.
She don't have none of that. She don't
She
have
got
none of
nothing.
that. She don't have no witch hazel. She don't have nothing.
She ain't got nothing to take care of that area.
Oof. Poor lady. Poor lady.
You know, she got up and laid in bed like,
But she was restless. She was already joining,
oh
joining
yeah.
Claire to do laundry and, 24 hours later.
So guys, that was the end of part 5. And since part 6, the search, is literally one chapter, and it was like what, 45 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
I did book math again. Because I was like, okay, these are the chapters we have left. How long are they? It made sense to include this chapter in this section instead of the next section because there's a lot left and it would just been way too much. And for like a 45-minute chapter, it would have been like a 5-minute episode. So we're getting part 6, The Search, which is just chapter 34, Dougal's story. Oh, Dougal. So, yeah, I know. This chapter, Murtaugh and Claire are going off trying to find Jamie, and they're putting themselves out there as like Claire's healing powers, like sort of gypsies, but like just getting their name known for healing, and trying to get information on where Jamie is and how to like find him and shit. And so a messenger approaches Claire and has her follow him, by herself. He like points at Dougal because he can't really speak English or Gaelic, so he like points at Murtaugh and says stay, basically. So Claire follows, not Jenny. Jenny's back home. Claire follows, and she sees the outline of a person in like a rock outcropping and like a basically little hidey hole. And she's like, "Oh my god, it's Jamie!" Oh no, it's Dougal. Fuck. And yeah, he tells Claire Jamie's in Wentworth prison, and he's going to be hanged. Fuck. That can't be good. So, and that Claire can't do a thing about it. He's kind of, stuck there. He then starts to come on to Claire. And I didn't like this. This was creepy. Ugh. Telling her he'll protect her and all of this stuff, and then he'll marry her. And she's grossed out, obviously. It's fucking Dougal. He already kissed her while drunk and tried to make a move, and she already hated it. And she was not married then. And she still was like, no. Now she's in love with her husband. And like, doubly no. So he wants to marry Claire for Lollybrock. Because when Jamie dies, it goes to her. She says no, obviously. She realizes he was trying to get the land all along. That's why he took in Jamie as a child, and everything he's done has been trying to get the land of Lollybrock, because he basically had his sister marry Fraser, to get this land. And then she died. He's like, it's going to go to Jamie. Let me take care of Jamie. Oh, Jamie's married. He's going to die. Let me take care of his wife. Let me marry his wife. Because Dougal's a greedy bastard. And she pieces together that him and Colum are together in everything. They're Jacobites together. They do everything together because Colum couldn't have become Laird without Dougal pledging to go fight wars and take care of the tenants, because Colum can't really do much. He can't even make a child. So
roasted. No, like the fact that these two are like so hard in it together is like borderline disgusting. Yeah.
It's disgusting. Yeah, because she's like, so Colum knows. And Dougal's like, yeah, he knows. He planned it. We planned it with his wife. And she's like, was she in on it? She's like, she was there. Like, Dougal is a disgusting piece of shit. Like,
fucking snake. Snake.
Yeah. Yeah. So Claire hears all of this, and then Dougal's still trying to make a move, and then she sees a shadow, and she's like, fucking finally. And Dougal's like, what? Murtaugh didn't listen, obviously. He was there following the whole time, and Claire knew this. She's like, Murtaugh's gonna follow. And he tells Dougal, he has a gun pointed at him, basically, and is like, we need money and men. We're gonna go rescue Jamie. Dougal's like, all right. And he gives him money, because he's like, I love my nephew. I don't want him actually dead. If you have a chance, go save him. And Claire's like, okay. And he's like, but you're not going to take my men. And she's like, fine, we're going to ask. And if anyone wants to come on their own volition, you'll let them. Dougal's like, all right, bet. So they go back to where everybody's staying and she asks them. And 5 men choose to go with them, including Rupert. And I love Rupert. So it's like, yay, Rupert. Before they set off, Dougal tells Claire that Galus is dead, that she was burned to death. And he went and saw her one last time when he went to collect their baby, because remember, she was pregnant with his baby. And the baby's in a good home, because he can't claim it as his own, because Dougal's a piece of shit. So she told Dougal to give Claire a message if he ever saw her again. So he's like, she may repeat these numbers in the same sequence, but she said, to quote, I think it is possible, but I do not know. And the numbers in this order that Dougal had to know, 1, 9, 6, 7. What does that mean? I don't know. And Claire walks away. She does know. The line, I think it is possible, but I do not know, refers to, do you think it's possible to go back through the stones? Claire or Galus answered, I think it is possible, but I don't know. And 1967 is the year 1967. Galus is telling Claire she's from 1967. That's why. So Claire's like, oh shit. And then Claire kind of has like a little inner monologue, like, if I'd known or seen something sooner, maybe I could have helped her sooner. Like a little like, I get it. It's like, maybe I could have helped her done something, but she couldn't, and this was gonna happen. So yeah, we have questions, but now we're all off to rescue Jamie at Wentworth Prison. The end.
Yeah. This was a crazy chapter. I just remember being so disgusted by Dougal and just like everything that he's about, and I just fucking I hate him so much, dude. Like
Fucking Dougal.
I hate Dougal so much. Can't
I
stand
know.
the man. Cannot stand the damn man.
I know, but I love the actor so much. I'm okay.
I get
It's
it.
also the accent.
I love him, okay?
My daddy, I love it.
But daddy, I love him.
That was part 5 and 6 of Outlander. Our next part is part 7, Sanctuary, which is the last 7 chapters, chapters 35 through 41. And that will probably be coming to you real soon because we both really want to finish this book.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
stay
yes, go
tuned.
follow us on Fable and vote. Yes. And vote on which book we should read next as a palate cleanser. Those are our 3 options, which are The Deal, Margot's Got Buddy Troubles, and The Enchanted Greenhouse.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope that you subscribe, click the bell. You'll get notified every time we post a new episode. We are on Spotify. We are on TikTok. We are on Fable. We are everywhere, anywhere, everything, always. We hope to hear from you soon. I would love for us to reach 100 followers by the end of June across all of our platforms. We are already at 130 on TikTok. Thank you so much to all of our TikTok viewers and subscribers. We appreciate you so much. And that'll be it. See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.